this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face.
And so you just kind of digest the news of the day.
It's an affirmation.
I'm glad some good is coming out of this stuff. This is Robert Mueller.
Robert Mueller putting the squeeze on the president.
It has to do with, it's become obvious that the choice was a bad one. We just need to change it. And if you can't vote for a Democrat, at least let all this flood of information that's so negative.
I just want to express it in a positive way. I want to turn everything painful into art.
A former president just had a complete meltdown over a comedian's impression. Jim Carrey transformed into Trump on Kimmel's show, mocking everything from his marriage to his diapers. And what happened next proves comedy might be Trump's kryptonite. The facial expressions alone from Carrey's impression were devastating enough, but it was his comments about Melania's prison sentence of a marriage that sent Trump off the deep end. We've got the full breakdown of what happened before, during, and after this comedy catastrophe. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did you know Jimmy Kimmel once compared Melania to a prison inmate trapped in a marriage contract? It all started on his late-night show.
You can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're different. It doesn't mean, the trouble with what's happening right now is these...
Trump is toast.
These really negative forces like the Steve Bannons of the world are convincing us that we're separate, that we're not the same country, that there's two countries. There's not two countries.
I get home. Yeah. Phones, I'll be asleep before my head hits the limo seat.
Can I make you more comfortable? Maybe you'd like to lay your head on this phone.
When Kimmel decided Trump's marriage was fair game, the comedian initially warmed up the audience with some light jabs about Trump's presidency, calling it the worst season of The Apprentice ever, and suggesting that Americans had accidentally voted for a reality TV villain who couldn't be voted off the island. But then Kimmel's jokes got more personal. He pulled up footage of Melania swatting away Trump's hand during an overseas trip. Look at that. She's dodging his fingers like they're covered in orange Cheeto dust, Kimmel joked as the audience roared. He didn't stop there. Kimmel put together a montage of Melania's most uncomfortable public moments, including her infamous Christmas decorations that transformed the White House into what he called Satan's festive retreat. Melania decorated the White House like she's trying to tell us something, Kimmel quipped. Nothing says, "Help me," quite like blood-red Christmas trees. The audience was in stitches as he described her public appearances as one long unbroken sigh and compared her to an actress in a soap opera who stopped caring about the plot around season 8. Kimmel really twisted the knife when he highlighted the irony of Melania's Be Best anti-bullying campaign. She's married to the most aggressive cyberbully since they invented keyboards, he said. That's like Dracula's wife starting a blood donation drive. The crowd was practically falling out of their seats. But his most savage joke came when he said, if body language could file for divorce, hers would have done it in 2017. Kimmel then suggested that when Trump got COVID, Melania secretly danced around a giant bonfire, celebrating her temporary freedom from having to hold his hand. Just as Melania was supposedly celebrating her COVID freedom, Jim Carrey unleashed an impression that would make Trump's face redder than his signature tie. When Carrey took the stage on Kimmel's show, he didn't just do another Trump impression, he performed a full-body possession that left the audience gasping for air between laughs. Carrey shuffled onto the stage, already transformed, shoulders hunched forward, lips puckered into that trademark pout, and tiny hands flapping wildly. The physical comedy master wasn't just doing Trump, he was channeling him through every facial muscle. As Carrey contorted his rubber face into increasingly ridiculous expressions, audience members were literally falling out of their seats. The impression took an especially brutal turn when Carrey suggested why Trump stands so weirdly. "See this posture?" Carrey demonstrated, leaning forward like he was perched on a toilet. "It's because Donnie Diapers here needs extra room in the back. That's why he golfs like this, stands like this, and plays tennis like this." Each demonstration had the audience howling as Carrey mimicked Trump's strange athletic poses with perfect accuracy. What really broke the audience was when Carrey's Trump suddenly switched topics mid-sentence, going from nuclear policy to hamburgers to Melania in the span of 10 seconds. "My wife, she's fantastic, so much menstruation," Carrey blurted in Trump's voice, combining the former president's tendency to confuse words with his awkward comments about women. The impression hit its peak when Carrey acted out Trump having a complete meltdown over an unflattering photo. "Did you see the picture of me with the stomach out to here?" he shrieked, pushing his belly out to massive proportions. "Fake news! They photoshopped it. I've got the best abs. Everyone says so." As Carrey wrapped up by describing Trump's presidency as basically an extinction-level event, folks, the camera cut to Kimmel, who was literally wiping tears from his eyes, struggling to regain composure enough to continue hosting his own show. The audience may have been doubled over with laughter, but someone watching from his gold-plated fortress was definitely fuming. Despite claiming to ignore failing late-night shows, Trump's thumbs were already hovering over his phone, ready to unleash a meltdown that would transform a simple comedy bit into headline news. At first, the former president tried the "I don't care" approach. His initial social media posts after the Kimmel-Carrey roast fest were suspiciously focused on border security and the economy. Classic "look at me being presidential" deflection. But just like a toddler who swears they don't want ice cream while staring longingly at the freezer, Trump couldn't maintain the charade for long. Within hours, the facade cracked like cheap spray tan. Nobody watches Jimmy Kimmel anymore. His ratings are terrible. Trump rage posted at 1:47 a.m., somehow both claiming nobody watches while simultaneously proving he watches religiously. The typos multiplied as his anger escalated. Nothing says, "I'm totally calm," like forgetting how to spell the name of someone you supposedly don't care about. By dawn, Trump's feed had transformed into a presidential temper tantrum. "Jim Carrey is mentally unstable and always has been," he wrote, before claiming Kimmel had begged me to come on his failing show when I was president, but I said no. The meltdown reached its peak when Trump, a 77-year-old former leader of the free world, actually posted a 15-year-old photo of himself mid-golf swing with the caption, "No diaper, fake news." His staffers reportedly tried wrestling away his phone, but Donnie was just getting started. In his final act of self-own, Trump accidentally confirmed the marriage jokes by defensively posting, "Melania and I have a perfect marriage, unlike loser Kimmel, who couldn't keep a woman if his ratings depended on it." Nothing says, "We're happily married," like screaming it in all caps at 3 a.m. on social media. And so ends another chapter in the never-ending comedy special that is Trump's relationship with the media. What's truly fascinating here is how comedy has proven to be the ultimate kryptonite against political egos. When the joke lands too close to home, the meltdown that follows only makes the comedy more effective. The real plot twist? While Trump was busy rage typing at 1 a.m., sources close to Melania reveal she actually found the entire comedic segment very amusing. Talk about marriage goals. Her reaction shows a surprising side of the former First Lady, someone who can apparently appreciate the humor in her situation despite being under constant public scrutiny. This latest feud proves the golden rule of comedy. If you can't laugh at yourself, comedians will do it for you, and they'll probably get better ratings. The more Trump protests, the funnier the next round of impressions will be. That's showbiz, baby.